Thanks for supporting the channel by clicking the links in the description box. And thank you so much for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And now let's get into this podversation. What's up, guys? All right, so first we are going to be talking about in the relationship department is going to be Neyo and his wife Crystal Smith. So it's being reported that they are expecting their third child together, and that's good news. It's good news if they want to continue to be fruitful and plentiful and having more children in their marriage. Then that's cool. They're married, he can support all of the kids, and it's beautiful. He has, although, an ex-fiance by the name of Maina Shaw, and he shares a daughter who is now 10 years old and a son who is 9 years old with Maina. And there was a lot of backlash because Maina, she had her tubes tied. And she reported and stated on a number of occasions in the past that she had her tubes tied because he did not want to have any more children. And although she hasn't really come out and blamed him for her making that decision, and she's kind of said, well, we made the decision together, she really alluded to the fact that he did not want to have any more kids. So now that he's expecting another child, which would be child number 5 with his current wife, a lot of people who are either fans of his or foes of his are on this situation, and they are critiquing the situation and saying that, oh, okay, so you can have another baby with your wife, but you couldn't have another baby with Maina, and you made that chick get her tubes tied. But his wife, she came out and she defended her husband, and she said that, so on the Jasmine brand, they reported that some IG user said, what about his first wife he convinced to sterilize herself, then left her? So she came out and said, I'm his first wife, boo. And that is the truth. He was not married to Maina. I don't know if he just saw some things in her that he did not want to continue to be in a relationship with her, and so that's why they did not proceed down the aisle and called off the wedding. But he didn't want to have any more kids with her, obviously, because she said that they made the decision together, and she did it. It's her body, and ultimately she could do what she wants to do with her body. He could not make her get her tubes tied. He could not stop her from doing it if she, wanted to do it. And he said, no, I want to have more kids. It's her body, and she can do whatever she feels like she wants to do with her body. So she made that decision and she did it, and the marriage never happened and the relationship didn't work out. She's moved on with her life, and she's since gotten engaged to someone else. But Crystal Smith, she's standing by her husband, and she said that, look, I'm his first wife. And then she also said in another comment, I'm being accurate since you want to be in something so bad. I respect the mother of his kids, and facts are facts. He did not request nor make anyone do anything. She has moved on and is in love, happy as hell. You should try it. Simple-minded child. So I guess sometimes you just gotta make a statement when somebody's coming at you, and this person chose to comment on her post, so she had the right to respond the way that she chose to respond, and she clapped back. She is the wife. She is actually the first wife. Maybe she will be the last, we shall see, but he's having baby number 5 with her, and that's the way it is. So a lot of people will never let him live down the fact that Maina did get her tubes tied, and she alluded to the fact that it was because of something that he wanted to do. But again, she did not want to completely blame him, so she said that they made the decision together. But they seem to be in love, and they're just popping out the kids. But apparently this situation with Maina getting her tubes tied, he is probably never going to be able to live that one down. So you guys let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section. All right, so next we are going to talk about Dr. Dre and Nicole Young and how he's calling out his wife, and I guess we'll say soon to be ex-wife if this divorce ever becomes finalized, in a verse on a rap that he did, because I guess he's just fed up with the fact that she is wanting this $2 million a month. Now we know that it was reported that he had an aneurysm and he was in the hospital. And while he was in the hospital, he decided to just lay up and just relax a little bit, give Nicole some of this money that she's asking for, and he gave her a one-time payment of $2 million in temporary spousal support. But she really wants $2 million a month. So in a new song that it's being reported by the Jasmine brand that DJ Silk previewed on Instagram Live, he made reference to what she's doing and what she's trying to do in a lyric. And he said, trying to kill me with them lies and that perjury. I see you trying to F me while I'm in surgery. In ICU, deathbed, on some money S. Greedy B, take a pic. Girl, you know how money get. All right. Well, here's the thing. Was him being in the hospital really that bad? I don't know. I'm not saying that it wasn't. And we probably will never really know, just based off of what they're saying is all we'll really have to be able to go by because of HIPAA laws. We can't really get those medical records. But it was kind of coincidental with all of this stuff going on. He wound up in the hospital with a brain aneurysm. And a brain aneurysm is not a joke. That is it's a stroke of the brain. And a lot of people don't come back from that. And a lot of people that have suffered from that and have survived have been left with a lot of issues. And he seems to be doing okay because he was spotted out having dinner with April, who is Omarion's baby's mother. They have 2 kids together. And then she was all over on social media, just a hot mess, talking about how she's been with this one and that one and the other one. And she was also in a so-called relationship with Little Fizz, who both of them have been on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, and he is a former bandmate of her child's father, Omarion. They were friends. So was it really that bad? And now you're rapping about this woman and saying that she's a greedy bee. He was married to Nicole for over 20-something years. I'm sorry. I was one of the ones at first that was like, wow, this woman wants $2 million a month. But for me, I think it was more so when they broke down her monthly expenses. It seemed really ridiculous that it's like she's saying she spends this much for her meals and entertainment and laundry and cable and cell phones, and the amounts for those things were like really exorbitant. But she was with Dr. Dre and married to him for over 20-something years. And from the things that have been described, I don't think she's lying about a lot of the things that she is alleged to have had happen to her. And especially the stories that Michelle has come out and said when she was in a relationship with him. And I know they say people can change. And yeah, people do change. But when it's situations like that, it has to be like a complete overall change. Like you go from being a gangster rapper to being an apostle in a church. Like you do like a complete 180. Not, okay, I was a gangster rapper that beat women, but now I don't beat women anymore, but I'm still talking, slick and slime in my rhymes. I just don't think that. And so he's older. You can become a little bit wiser, but coming out with lyrics like this, he's talking about her like she's just somebody that he had kids with. Like she was just a baby mom, and she wasn't. She was his wife. He chose to marry this woman. He was married to her for over 20 years. I believe 24 years to be exact. and they're not divorced yet, so technically they could have another wedding anniversary before the divorce is even final. So when I learned that his monthly revenue is over 200 million a month, $2 million a month really in the grand scheme of things is not that much to give to his wife, who has been there with him all of these years and probably suffered a great deal. And some people may say, well, she hadn't been through anything or whatever, but it sounds like she did endure a lot and she chose to stay with him for whatever reason. It's between her and her God and Dr. Dre as to why they chose to stay together all those years. But it doesn't sound like he was the best husband. He just was a really great provider. And I've talked about that before as well. A lot of people get in these relationships, especially women, and they get stuck in what they are receiving. So it goes on for years and years and years, and they tolerate a lot and they put up with a lot because it's like, well, what else do I have? I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just saying that's the way it is for a lot of women. So $2 million a month, forget about how much she says she spends on her cable and her cell phone bill every month and her entertainment and whatever. Let's just X that out. But if we look at, okay, if you're bringing in over 200 some odd million dollars a month, and your wife who has been with you for over 24 years is asking for $2 million a month, that really isn't that much. It's just like if somebody was bringing in $2,000 a month and the spouse is asking for $200 a month. I mean, it's just when you break down the percentages versus what she says her monthly expenses are to make it make sense. So in all honesty, I feel like he should just get it to her, because he's never going to be without. He is going to always be where he is unless something stupid and crazy happens in his life that he either does himself or karma comes back around because of all of the crap that he was doing over the years. I don't know. But anyway, you guys let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section. All right, and next we are going to be talking about Cheray Whitfield. Now, if you guys have been following the Real Housewives of Atlanta for any time, and you've seen that Sheree has had her either struggles with relationships or just the lack thereof of a relationship, you would have seen that in season 10 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, she was reportedly dating somebody who was in prison by the name of Tyrone. I mean, how ironic is that? Like, why couldn't his name be, I don't know. I don't even know, but it's just kind of crazy. So she was with this guy, having the collect call conversations with him on camera, and he's talking about, as she was getting the Chateau Cheray completed and getting that prepared for the season finale when she was going to have the big party there, about all the things that he wanted to do when he got out of prison. So he's been in prison for fraud financially, I believe. I don't know what all his charges were and all he was serving time for, but at the time, that was in 2018 when that show aired, and she was saying that he was up for an appeal, but if he didn't win, then he would probably be in for another couple of years. So time has flown since that has happened, because now we're in 2021 and he has reportedly been released, and he is in a halfway house in Philadelphia. But all about the tea, they're saying that Sheree wants to move forward and have a wedding with this guy. So I don't know if this is going to be a little hint, nudge for the Real Housewives of Atlanta to bring her back for an upcoming season so that he can be on the show. They can actually see him now, and it's not just her taking the collect phone calls, speaking to the operator first and then him second, and whatever, they talk about before his minutes are up and then the phone call disconnects. It's just very crazy. But what is up with her? Just like, I don't know. Is she dating down? Let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section, because she's built this huge chateau. Nobody really knows what she is doing financially to keep it, or even to have had it built. And Candy alluded to that in that season, because when she invited Candy, and I believe it was Cynthia, over when she had her basement finished, she invited them over for massages and things like that. And Candy was like, I see a lot of money when I look around the chateau, and I don't really know how she's paying for it, but I don't know. I guess she sold a lot of t-shirts and books. That was shade, but also true. It's like, what is she doing to build this place? So one has to wonder, was any of the illicit money that Tyrone got, which is one of the reasons why he was in prison, did that help her to finish building her place? I would really love to know, but it's being reported that they're soulmates, and they knew when he got out that they would be getting married. So I'm interested to see it. I mean, it would definitely be entertaining to see it all play out. So now that it's being reported that they will possibly be getting married, it looks like she was holding her man down this whole time while he was in there, because it wasn't reported that she has been dating anyone else. And even before that, you didn't really see her with anyone else while she was on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And there was a season when I think it was just a storyline, when it was like her ex Bob Whitfield and she were trying to rekindle and try to make things work. But I never saw that working out, because one, that divorce was just too nasty, too contentious. They've had a lot of mudslinging back and forth. They were on Iyanla Fix My Life together, and it was just, just a lot in and out of the courts, child support not being paid. She lost her house and foreclosure because he wasn't paying support and all this other stuff. So that was just nuts. It was crazy. She never got her 7-figure settlement that she was hoping for with that situation. So we shall see. But anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section. Do you think that she and her prison boo Tyrone are going to make it official and tie the knot? All right, and so finally, we're going to talk about Safaree and ericamena. Now, these two were a reality TV show couple made in hell, in my opinion, because they both love the superficiality of things. They both love the spotlight. They have gone from this Love and Hip Hop franchise to that Love and Hip Hop franchise, and now they've wound up becoming a couple, and they actually wound up getting married and having a baby together. I mean, I don't know if I ever saw it going that far, but it did. Well, anyway, Safaree, he recently tweeted that getting married was one of his biggest mistakes, and he's walking away. And so ericamena, she also responded. These two have been all about showcasing their relationship on social media. Erica also came out at one point and said that a lot of women can't find men or don't have relationships because they don't know how to, whatever she said. I don't want to say she said they don't know how to sacrifice, but she basically was saying that a lot of women won't settle. Well, now she's going through it with this guy, and who didn't see this coming? Who thought that they were going to be married for 20 years? Now, no divorce filings have been reported, but they're going back and forth on social media. And so after he made that statement, then he said, I'm walking away before I end up in jail over some dumb S, and nobody is worth my freedom. So she responded and says, since you always want to run to social media like a little girl, I might as well join in. I absolutely agree with you on this. You are the most selfish, vain, and inconsiderate person, and not just with me, but your only daughter. Out of respect for my daughter and to honor my growth as a woman, of course she says this after she just said what she said, I'm going to get back to doing what I do best. Make money and be only about my business. Entertaining social media with my issues isn't my thing. Don't let this Scorpio sting. All right, well, I don't know where this will wind up in courts or just in the court of public opinion for the time being, but will they continue to stay in wedded bliss, if you want to call this wedded bliss, or are they going to end up like Kim and Kanye and go ahead and end it? They both were bragging before about how much money they make on OnlyFans every month and showing the dollars that they're bringing in from all of the people who are ridiculously investing their money, subscribing to that crap. But hey, you do whatever you want to do with your money, right? But now they're going back and forth, and after she said he's taking his problems to social media like a little girl, I guess she is also saying she's a little girl as well, because she followed suit and did the same thing. But anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts about them in the comment section. Do you think they are going to try to work it out, or is all of this back and forth just to get more people's eyes on them, and like they like to do, for the attention? Or do you really feel like this is done and now it's finally over? Alright guys, so thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And until the next episode, I'm just being beautifully honest.